We enter the second episode of the series as we see Sofia visiting her therapist's office as she recounts her recent stay in Arkham. Throughout the scene, we are shown this device positioned by Dr. Rush's head, with red lights moving laterally from left to right. I've seen a few theories online that depict this device as hypnotic or a hypnotherapy device. I believe that this device is said to resemble EMDR equipment. EMDR, or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, is a therapeutic treatment that is commonly used to treat mental health conditions that stem from memories of traumatic events, or more specifically in Sofia's case, PTSD. EMDR allows the patient to access traumatic memories by coupling your brain's recollection process with rapid eye movements in an attempt to guide your brain to reprocess or repair the mental injuries caused by trauma. I believe Dr. Rush is walking Sofia through one of these treatments and walking her through the process of her most recent trauma, which is her stay at Arkham, now coupled with the loss of her brother, Alberto Falcone. The inventor of EMDR, Dr. Francine Shapiro, states that during normal events, your brain stores memories smoothly. It networks them by connecting them to other experiences such as sight or smell. During disturbing events, this networking does not work, and the brain formally goes offline. There's a huge disconnect between what you experience and what your brain stores. Dr. Shapiro found that rapid eye movements activate both sides of your brain, which can help facilitate communication between them. This engagement of both sides of your brain has been shown to help memory retrieval. By processing these memories with a therapist, it is theorized that you would be able to rewrite the negative memory. While Sofia is undergoing treatment, it is clear that she is both physically and emotionally being suffocated by these recent events. Dr. Rush helps ground Sofia by bringing her to the present moment. He is heard telling her she is not at Arkham anymore. She is now safe. Sofia responds with, "No, I am home." It is clear that Sofia is a victim of deep psychological trauma. Growing up in a powerful mafia family, it is almost certain that Sofia not only witnessed horrific events, but she herself would be a victim to the ruthless ideology displayed by her family. The use of EMDR at the beginning of this episode is a strong demonstration of the main component of Sofia's diagnosis and a closer look into one of the many criminogenic factors that make up her psychological profile. It is common with patients with PTSD to experience reoccurring distressing dreams, in which the content of the dreams are directly related to traumatic events. We see Sofia waking in her closet, gasping for air, clawing at her neck. She then transitions to the mirror, and we see deep-set scratches along Sofia's neckline. I believe these scratches and clawing are a symptom of Sofia's PTSD. We often see her throughout the series wearing some type of scarf or turtleneck. I believe this is to hide her scratches, as she does not want anybody to see that she's still struggling with this PTSD. This episode's evidence portrays to me that the main trauma plaguing Sofia is related to some sort of strangulation event. This, coupled with her calling card being the hangman, shows that Sofia is displaying her control over her own trauma by exerting the most painful experience that she's lived through onto her victims. We learn later in the episode that Sofia is a serial killer with 7 victims who were women. To be classified as a serial killer, the perpetrator must commit at least 3 murders within a significant amount of time, with what is considered a cooling-off period. Most victims will share some type of characteristic, and the perpetrator is driven by their own unique motives. Despite the media's depiction of serial killers, there is no cookie-cutter template for a serial killer. Most individuals that commit serial murder share a common diagnosis of ASPD, or antisocial personality disorder. Sofia is no different. Antisocial personality disorder is characterized in the DSM-5 as a person who shows a failure to conform to laws or social norms, has high levels of deceitfulness, often acts on impulsivity, has high levels of irritability and aggressiveness, often has a reckless disregard for safety of self or others, has consistent irresponsibility, and often lack remorse. What we know about women who murder in particular is that they often murder people that they know. They target the elderly and often are motivated by monetary gain. Male serial killers, on the other hand, often act out of convenience. They will spot victims from afar. They will follow victims, or they might just meet a victim and act out of contingency, out of the convenience. I believe that Sofia murdering other women is also very interesting in this regard, as she seems to target women who either were active participants in her abuse or passive participants in her abuse. I believe after years of psychological torment and physical torment, she now sees the other women in her family as targets. She believes that they are weak and that they look down upon her, and she is tired of being pushed around. I believe after years of psychological and physical abuse, Sofia was shaped into a person with very deep rooted PTSD. This PTSD, in combination with her environment, later evolved into a personality disorder. This personality disorder has turned her into a sociopath, and that is the Sofia we are seeing in this series. Ultimately, Sofia's descent into a sociopath has been one of the most interesting developments in the latest installment of Matt Reeves' reimagining of the newest Cape Crusaders Chronicles. Can't wait for episode 3. If you guys want more content like this, I will be happy to do another breakdown of episode 3 and maybe do some more characters in the show as well. Thank you so much.